Hey, what's up? This is Casey. This is
Coach Tom.
and this is Shot Science Overtime number 166. We want to let you guys know that this is, you got to do your surprise.
Do my name or do it every time, yeah.
Okay, and we want to tell you guys that this is our live show that we do where we're here for about an hour talking to you guys, trying to figure out how to make you guys better players. This is not like a regular tutorial video, so if this is not what you're looking for, you can bail right now. It will not hurt our feelings. But you don't have to tell us in the comments that you don't like this. So that's cool. But if you have questions or you want to talk to us, please stick around because we got about an hour here that we're going to talk to you guys for, and we would love to have you.
Right.
We want to tell you that the way that this goes down usually is that we have a topic at the top of the show that we'd like to talk about that we think is something that is going to help you guys become a better basketball player, maybe cut out a little bit of the learning curve for you, and give you just a little bit of head start on things. And while we're doing that, you guys are going to be sending us questions or comments or whatever, and we'll jump into those as soon as we finish up with our topic. So start sending those to us right now, and we will get into those as soon as we can. We want to tell you guys, please go follow us on all of our social media stuff, whether that's Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or Snapchat. We're on all that stuff doing different things, and we would love to have you guys there. And also, go to shotscience.com. That's our new website, and we have a whole bunch of cool, fun stuff there. And this is not just a plug to try to get you guys to go over there. Like, we really want you guys to go check it out and start doing some stuff that is kind of helping you join us in being part of the team. So one of the things you can do there, you can get a Shot Science t-shirt.
All right.
And as soon as you get one of those, you're part of the team.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we would love to have you guys walking around with our t-shirts. And if you take a picture or a video of yourself in the shirt, working out or doing some training or whatever, that really is something that we love to see, because then we can use that and feature that on our different social media spots. So if you get one of the shirts, take a picture or a video, you just might end up on Shot Science Facebook,
Absolutely.
where there's 1.6 million people that follow that page. So we would love to have you guys there. Other things that are going on there, we have other t-shirts, number one, but we also have training gear there. So if you want
What kind of training gear?
Yeah, well, let me get to it.
Okay.
So we have stuff that can help you train your vertical. So we have like the jump box, which is a box that has several items in it that will help you with your training there. And it's got other goodies in it too, so go check that out. We have jump rope, foam roller, you name it, it's in there. And we'll have more stuff as time goes on.
Yeah.
Best part about the website, though, is that we also have this area that is kind of it's for the people that are really serious about getting better at basketball and their athletic training.
Right.
So that area it's kind of the all access membership, and there you can see our very, very detailed breakdowns on shooting. So we talk about kind of the essential elements of shooting, break all that down. We demonstrate all of that stuff so you can see each part being broken down.
Right.
And then we give a bunch of drills that we think will help you guys kind of advance and progress. So when you're here and you're talking to us about, the 3 pillars of practice every week that we talk about on, every time we're here.
Week, yeah.
We show you the drills that you need to be using to utilize the 3 pillars of practice to become a better basketball player. So go and check that out. We also, in that same area, we have a conditioning and athleticism component. So that's where you can go see all of the vertical jump training stuff that will help you increase your athleticism and your vertical leap. So it's not just one facet of that stuff. In the past, we've sent you to go check out our vertical jump handbook and some of that stuff. That stuff is still great, but go to the new membership area and you can see that stuff it's even more broken down, and we show demonstrations of absolutely everything. And the other thing about that stuff too, not to ramble on, but we will be adding new components to that every month. So, we have the shooting up there, we have the athletic training to help you with your vertical, but we're going to have, every month that's going to get refreshed, but we'll also have stuff on ball handling, passing, rebounding, defense, tons of that stuff, probably even weight training and interval training and things like that. So if you guys want to join Team Shot Science and be like a real serious MVP, go check out the all access area of our website. that is something that we can't recommend any higher. Okay, so shotscience.com, go check that out. Even if you just go get a shirt, that would be super awesome.
Yeah.
And that really lets us know that you guys want us to keep doing this stuff because, we are really proud of all this stuff that we put together there. We want to share it with you. Yeah. Okay. So let's get into today's topic. And also go to the website and let us know in the chat that you went there and that you're going to check it out.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah.
Open another window, go check it out.
All right.
But let's see. So today's topic is how to fix your shot. And that's one of the things that we think is super important because when we've said this many times in the past is that you are with yourself 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
You might have a coach or a shooting coach that you can be with, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours a week. So who is going to have more quality time with you? And that's going to be you.
Yeah.
So you need to learn how to analyze and diagnose and fix what's going on with your shooting or any kind of skill that you're trying to develop, right?
Exactly right. Yes.
So what are some ways that we can do this?
Well, one of the things that is first off in my mind is this: you've got to make sure that the mechanics that you're using for your shot are ones that will work for you. We see all kinds of different kinds of things. We've had a student, in fact, they're due here later today, and they shoot the ball from back here behind their ear. We're in the process of trying to get them to change that so it comes up and it represents the L position like we teach everybody. Well, once you have those mechanics for your stroke kind of outlined in your mind as to what you should think they should be, then one of the things I think is really important is video yourself shooting. And then match the two. How does this match to this video over here? And what you'll find out is maybe you've got the arm pulled back into a V, which creates a flat shot.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
here's the way to look at all the stuff that you just said is that you yourself need to go find a shooting methodology or perspective
Yes.
that makes sense to you. We really work hard on making sure that we don't just show you guys how, but we also tell you the why of all this stuff. So there's a reason why a specific element of the shot or whatever. And you need to buy into that stuff. You shouldn't just do it because somebody tells you to do it.
Yeah.
It should make sense to you, and you need to be very critical of the elements that people talk about, and be able to logically and rationally kind of make that make sense in your mind. So for us, when it comes to shooting, we would say go check out the website where we have our shooting methodology mapped out.
Yep.
And that is going to be a good framework for you to know exactly the elements of your shooting that you need to have in your shot.
Yep.
And once you have that, start putting those elements together. Use the form shooting drill that we talk about in that area as well on getting all of the mechanics in place. So, your feet are in the right place, your arms are in the right set point, your release is in the right place. All of those things line up, and then videotape yourself.
I mean, that's going to tell you. You can't know what you look like when you shoot.
Yeah, I mean, you could work with somebody like my dad on your shooting for a year, and if you've never looked at yourself shooting, you might not make that extra step where it's going to take you to the next level. So
And the other thing, when you videotape it, you're watching it maybe slow motion, and oh, look at that. I didn't realize that that's something I was doing, and that probably has a negative or a positive effect on your shot. And so you can really analyze what it is that you're doing or need to do to be successful as a shooter.
Yeah, and you can take something like this little iPhone here. It's actually not a little one, it's a Plus, but you could take it and you can film in regular speed, and then you can do it in slow motion, and you can see all the little intricacies of your shooting. Maybe the ball is releasing off the wrong fingers, and you didn't know that unless you looked at your video. And if you see that, you can think to yourself, okay, well, that's something that I need to change immediately, and then drill it constantly over and over and over again so that I can get that bad habit out and really work on getting the right release.
We do that with our students when we're working with them because they don't know what they're doing. As far as the elements of the shot. And so we'll take a side shot and a rear shot, and then after they've shot for a couple of minutes, then we'll take and run them back through it. Do you see this here? Oh, yes. And do you see what we're not doing here? Yes. Okay. And so it's a great teaching tool that you can use for yourself to make yourself a better shooter.
Yeah, and everybody these days basically has some device where they can do this. This wasn't always a possibility.
Or you can use an iPad for that matter, or something like that.
Whatever. I mean, you can get out there and, do it yourself, have it set up, have your mom and dad shoot it for you, whatever it is. But really use that as a tool to analyze what you're doing. And you can take that video and you can go and you can be part of the all access membership on the website where our shooting stuff is. You can hold those right up to each other and look, oh, does my elbow look like that guy's? And looks like I need to get that more in a little bit. Whatever it may be. But you'll be able to go side by side and look at that and make sure that it's right where it needs to be.
Yeah, and when it comes right down to it, what Casey was saying a while ago is the fact that you're not probably going to be spending that much time in the course of a year with your coach or with your trainer, whoever is trying to help you with your shooting. And you live with yourself every moment of every day. And so that gives you a chance, even when you lay down at night, to pull that video out and you look at it. Oh, okay, I got to work on this. I got to work on that the next time I shoot.
Well, that's the difference between people that make these huge strides and big jumps in their abilities are the ones that actually are their own coach.
Yes.
The ones that just go through and let other people tell them what to do or work on the things that other people see and tell them to do are the people that just plod along and never really make any difference. The people that learn to be their own best coach are the ones that really just shoot past everybody else in their development.
Right.
And here's another thing that is kind of the next level of that stuff too, is learning how to analyze your shot by what the ball does too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when you are shooting and you're seeing that the ball is doing something that you don't want it to do. Like, let's say it's a major brick.
How about side spin, too? Those are things that...
So what?
Side spin, where the ball is rotating
hold on.
sideways.
One of the things that... Well, let's talk about the awkward misses first, and we'll do that as well. Okay, so when you're shooting your shot and you're getting different kinds of misses, those different kinds of misses can be diagnosed as having an issue with your shooting mechanics.
Exactly.
So one of the things that you can look at is, okay, I'm shooting the ball. The ball is hitting the front rim and just coming back very, violently. It's just hitting the front rim and bouncing right back to me. It's got that long rebound. That is probably an indication that your shot is very flat and you're releasing at a very low angle. And when you do that, that low angle release, the ball is going to go right to the rim, and it's not going to even have a chance to get up and over it, and it's going to hit the rim directly right, on the front, and it's going to rebound right back to you. And that's just the physics of it. It never had a chance of getting up and over. So what you can do then is, if that's a regular occurrence, you can say, oh, well, if I'm doing that, maybe my arm's coming down and I need to get that release up. I need to finish with my shooting elbow above my eye. And you start doing that, and you'll see, oh, well, that was the problem. Now the ball is going in the basket. I'm getting the right distance, the right angle of incidence on the shot, and you'll be in a better spot. Now, if the ball is bricking off the side of the rim, either side, that probably means that you're pulling your release off to that side, because if you are releasing the ball is basically going to go in the direction that your release is, right?
Exactly.
And if your ball is hitting the back rim and spiking way back out too, that probably means that your shot is flat again.
Flat again, yeah.
So there's all these little things that you can do to diagnose what's going on. And the other one is you can look at the spin on your ball. And we don't recommend that you shoot the ball and look at the ball. That is not a good habit to get into.
No.
Because you want to be locked in on your target. All the stuff that's going on with your release and the way the ball is traveling, that should all be figured out and worked out with your muscle memory, and you've done the work there. You don't need to watch the ball.
Right.
That's what, that's kind of what babies do, is they watch the ball. Don't do that. But if you're recording yourself with the video camera again, you can record the flight of the ball, and you can see, especially if you have it in slow motion, if the ball is spinning with that gentle backspin, that's just what you want it to be.
Right.
You want to be nice and gentle. You don't want it to be going really fast. That's too much energy pinned up in the ball. As soon as that hits the rim or the backboard, it's going to go flying because it has to expend that energy. So that gentle backspin. But if the ball is side spin, what is going on there?
Well, there's two things that can cause a side spin. One is that we release it off these last three fingers when we shoot it in either a supination movement. Well, usually that's what causes the side spin. But the other thing is the off thumb. we don't really think about that. Some people, they call that the guide hand, but we call it the assist hand. And what happens is that when we're shooting, oftentimes that thumb will swipe through the ball as it's leaving your hand, and it will cause this thing to have sideways spin. And it will go to the right and it will go to the left. And so what you want to do is take and release that hand as you're getting ready to finish the shot. And that way you get a shot that hopefully has really good backspin and it goes straight to the basket. We have people start off with their shooting the ball just with one hand. And what they find is that thing is going straight as an arrow, straight as an arrow. And then you put the other hand in there and they start to flip it with that thumb and you can see it going to both sides.
Yeah, and one of the things that, and this is a little bit of a tangent on shooting that, one of the things that we really emphasize with our shooters is that efficiency of your shooting mechanics is one of the most important things that you can have.
Right.
And having all of these different variables or elements that come in to screw up your shot is not good. You want to eliminate that stuff. And that kind of stuff is having hitches in your shot, dipping the ball, or
flicking it with
the other hand. Yeah. These are all elements that come in that can cause problems with your shot. You want it to be as efficient and simple as you possibly can. Having that one arm release where the assist hand falls away, that's going to give you the best chance of repeatability, consistency, and then accuracy.
Right.
So you need to have all that stuff lined up and you will be in very good shape.
You will be big in the scorebook.
Yeah, and when you hear people say, oh, you need to have that other thumb and flick in it, or you need to have this other extra movement in there, that is
unnecessary movement.
Unnecessary movement. That's adding in a variable where things can go wrong. Your consistency will fall off. Not a good piece of advice there. Right. And it really comes back to kind of physiology, and you are trying to manipulate that physiology. The best way to do it is in the most efficient way possible. Okay, I think I just got a tweet from somebody asking me about t-shirts. Oh, cool. And if you guys want to get some t-shirts, and we would love to see you guys in them, just go to shotscience.com, and we have them on sale there. We have them in this color, we have them in black, and we have them in light gray, and we have some other cool shirts there, like the Naismith is my homeboy shirt.
Oh, the Naismith shirt, that's awesome.
That's been a really popular one. And the Naismith shirt is one of those where if you wear that and people don't know what it's about, you can tell them, you can give them a little bit of history on basketball.
Well, how about people that are here that may not know who Naismith is?
Well, hold on. We don't want
take a moment.
Hold on. But if people know who it is, then they are the true basketball players too.
They are.
Anyways, Naismith is the man that invented the game of basketball. Right. So that is a cool shirt. Please go check that out. But anyways, go check out shotscience.com if you guys are trying to figure out your shooting and you're not sure what elements need to be there. We go through every single one in our all access section of that site. And that's really where you will start to set yourself apart, is if you have all the elements of your shooting mechanics down and you're using these things that we just talked about to kind of diagnose and coach yourself. Yeah. Because if you can't coach yourself, you're going to rely on other people. That is not a way to get ahead, right?
I don't think it is. No.
Okay, so that's going to do it for our topic today. We're going to shut that down. And if you guys have more questions about that, let us know. But we want to get into answering your questions. But before we do that, we want to tell you to go check out all of our social media places that you can find us. We are on Facebook, Google+, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. We're there all the time doing different things. We would love to have you guys there. Go check out the website, shotscience.com. Tons of cool stuff going on there. We have a question for you guys. And if you haven't been here before, this might be a shocker, but if you have, this is one that we ask every week. Okay. We want to know what?
We want to know where you are in the world.
That's right.
Exactly.
We are in Santa Cruz, California right now, which is south of San Francisco on the coast of California. But we want to know where you guys are from. Are you from Germany? Are you from Japan? Are you from Somalia? Are you from South Africa? Are you from Lithuania? We want to know where you guys are from, and we'll shout out a few people because we love to know how far Team Shot Science is spread.
Yeah. Well, we already saw someone that is here regular from Moscow. How cool is that?
I think is that our buddy Who is that guy?
I don't remember the name.
Yeah, Dan V Star. I mean, he's here every week. I think he's the guy that's part of our street team out there. He's telling everybody to go check us out.
All right.
Okay, we got Levi, who's from London. Last Ride 70 is from Illinois. Similar Kemmel Ceylon is from Germany. Alex is from Washington State. Didi Matic is from Canada. Dan Dabrowski is from Pennsylvania. What up? Stanley Kloss is from Richmond. Zach Attack is from Melbourne, Australia. Exordium's from the Bay Area, which is kind of in our area. Yeah. Gaming. Wit RJD is from Chicago, Illinois. Glow, the Bulls fan 21 is from Indianapolis. Erica Burton, who I think is the coach from Florida, says, I will be showing the shooting video in my practice tomorrow from Jacksonville, Florida. Awesome.
Well, super.
Jan is from Germany. Daniel, where'd it go? I lost it. Daniel's from, it looks like Miami.
Miami, yeah.
Stanley is from Australia. Elizabeth is from Arkansas, Arkadelphia, Arkansas. That's a crazy town. Luca is from Croatia. Clemmer is from Albany, New York. Bede Jace is from Latvia. Uncle Bernard, what's up? Ahmad is from Canada. Okay, we'll hit more people as we get a chance, but that's awesome. Thank you guys. Yeah. Keep telling us where you guys are from and spread the word about Shot Science Saver. Let's get into some of these questions here. Let's get back to the top a little bit. DTA Young says, hi, I really need help with my jump shot.
What do you need help with?
Yeah.
If you can specify something, typical things that are wrong with jump shots usually have to do with footwork, number one.
Yep.
Number two has to be that at the time that you deliver the basketball. Oftentimes what happens is that we get into a shot and we get in the air and we are ready to settle back to the floor or the floor before we shoot it. In other words, we shoot it late. When we shoot it late, we have no power. All we have is the power of our shoulders and arms, which only represent about 20% of our total power. So we kind of need to know what problem we have in there, and then maybe we can be more specific with that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. This one is from Andrea, who says, I'm sorry if I screw up your name. This is hard sometimes, but they say, my shot has been trash lately, but just a few months, it was great. What should I do?
Here's what you should do. Get that video out that we were talking about a while ago, your camera and video shelf work, and see what you're doing now, and maybe you have some idea of what you were doing before that was making you successful. Probably one of the things that I do more than anything else is I have players come back after I haven't seen them for 5 or 6 months. Coach, my shots are horrible. What do you think's wrong? We take a few minutes and usually we can find out right away what the problem is, and then they are able to take it away and fix it. So, and what we were talking about when we first started this video is how to fix that shot yourself. And so that's part of this whole thing today.
And consistency is a huge deal when it comes to your shooting abilities.
Yeah.
So many people think that, they can work on their shot and then just take a break and then come back and it's going to be there. It won't.
Yeah. Well, I have a student today, and this is a girl who shoots the ball really well. And she came in today and she had her arm back like this in what we call the V configuration instead of the L. And what was happening is that she was shooting the ball flat and she couldn't get the ball in the basket at all. And she was really a good shooter. The other thing, she wasn't getting her legs into it. And so what happened is that we spent about 10 or 15 minutes kind of working those things out. And finally, she started bringing the ball back so it has this L configuration rather than the V. If you have a V configuration of the elbow and the arm, what's going to happen is you're going to shoot the ball flat. And if you have it out here in the L, then you're going to elevate the ball so that you get better arc on it.
Yep.
Okay. Just a little tip.
Yeah. Darren is asking, how do I get a quicker shot release? Okay, that's a little bit of a complicated question, but here's some thoughts on that. Number one is that you do not want to rush your hands when it comes to your release.
Right.
You are rushing maybe your feet and your footwork. And one of the things that we really are proponents of is the footwork angle of this.
Absolutely.
And we always teach that you want to have your number one go-to be the 1-2 footwork into your shot.
Exactly.
So even if you're standing in a spot and you are waiting to catch the ball, you should be stepping into that shot so that you can get your feet set. And what also occurs is that you are establishing your rhythm with your feet. And when you do that, you don't have to do any goofiness with the ball. You don't need to dip it. You don't need to do any other way to generate rhythm than use your feet. So you have eliminated everything else before you even catch the ball because you're using your feet to establish the rhythm. And you're also probably creating a little bit of space with your footwork because you're stepping to the ball. And so the defender has to come catch up with you. If you're just standing still and you catch the ball, the defender is going to be right there in front of you probably, and you haven't done anything to get away from them, and you haven't done anything to create rhythm. So you catch the ball, you got to do something like dip the ball to get that rhythm established, and you've wasted that much time. So if you are using your footwork to get the rhythm established, you're taking care of a huge portion of your shooting mechanics before you even shoot or before you even catch the ball in your hands. And that is going to be what makes you quicker. And that 1-2 step is 1-2, 1-2. And you are really making that lightning fast, and you're establishing your set point position with your feet, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, one of the things that I would say too, because I see a lot of this, is that when you want to get the shot faster, it means that you are being contested. Well, in all reality, that shot's not there anyway. You have to create space. That's the most important thing in shooting, period, is creating space for you to be able to deliver the ball. And so if that space is not there because you're not being very efficient in the things that you do, you shouldn't take the shot. What you should do is work on ways that you can create that space. And if you go to our YouTube channel, we have a video showing you how to do that too.
What's a good shot? And you know, so often we see people that are trying to have this quick release with their upper body or their hands or whatever. And what that does is that if you're rushing that, you're going to create a bunch of tension in your arm and in your release, and that is going to be energy that is transferred to the basketball. And that's either going to give you a flat shot, or it's going to give you a shot where the ball is spinning with way too much backspin, and that energy needs to go somewhere when it hits something. So you don't want that. And what you want to do is, like we were talking about earlier, eliminate the non-essential elements of your shooting mechanics. So dipping, hitching, any weird, awkward movements, adding in other elements from your other hand. All of that stuff slows you down, and it also is another thing that can go wrong. So shooting quickness and efficiency is really from the feet.
Yeah, and you know, I hear coaches I'm at games, and they'll get rid of the ball quicker. Get rid of the ball quicker. Hey, you know, the thing that's important here is that you have effective, efficient mechanics, and that you have the space to get it off. If you don't have either one, or if you don't have one of those two, you're not going to get that shot off without it being deflected by the defense. And so learn how to be efficient in the stroke mechanics, as Casey's talking about, and also learn how to create space.
And connecting all the elements of your shooting into one fluid motion. That is huge too. Okay. A little bit of a rant on that one, but that was a good question. Christian Cruz says, I have a question. When we shoot, does our shooting hand have to be relaxed like our assist hand?
Oh, yeah. Well, the assist hand, we don't care whether that's relaxed or not, as long as it gets out of the way. But when we have a release on the basketball with our shooting hand, we want that hand to be very relaxed. And the reason that we want it to be relaxed is we don't want to impart a whole bunch of rotation on the ball. We could go through, I'll take just a moment on that one. Why don't we want more rotation on the ball? Well, here's the thing, is that the faster your basketball spins when you shoot it, the more power and energy that is captured in that basketball through that rotation. All right, and so when it runs into something solid like the rim, it's going to expend that energy, and it's going to be a long rebound. Whenever you take and relax your wrist, you're imparting less rotation on the ball. And I would say from the three-point line, just from studies I've read and whatnot, that probably the optimal rotation speed is about 3 to 4 rotations on its way to the basket from the 19.9 distance. And so that keeps the ball kind of slow. So now what happens then? When it runs into the iron, there's not nearly as much energy that is captured in that basketball, and so it tends to bounce and be very
sticky,
soft, and around the basket. It will maybe bounce up a foot, maybe 6 inches, but it'll stay around the basket, and you got a great chance for that thing to go in.
Yep, and
That's our thoughts
And if
on
it's
it.
spinning super fast, it's going to be just like a bomb explodes.
Exactly. Boom, and it's gone.
Yep. Okay, this one, and here's the other thing too, is if you're trying to shoot the basketball, this assist hand, it really should have a very soft touch on the side of the ball.
Yeah.
If you're squeezing with either hand, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
So you want to have a relaxed grip on both sides. Okay, Last Stride 70 says, I jump about 18 inches forward when I shoot my jump shot. Why? Because number one, you do that because you do that.
You do that because you don't think you have enough power to get the ball to the basket. And so one of the things that happens there when you're shooting your jump shot is that you probably tend to release your shot too late if you were normally shooting it, where you want to fall back in pretty much the same footsteps that you were in when you took off. And that's not always the case. Maybe you're a few inches forward. But if you're jumping very much forward, it's because you're trying to get body and all of that into the shot. What you're doing is you're getting maybe a lot of arm into the shot. You're not getting much legs into the shot. And so we would really tell you to go back and look at our videos on get your legs into it so you understand where the power comes from and how you need to use it when you shoot.
And increase your range by using something like the form shooting drill to work your way back so that you have the power needed. And then be aware of that jumping forward so that you can get rid of that habit too.
Yeah.
If you think about it, that's, again, another variable to your shooting where you're adding in another element that can mess with your accuracy and your consistency. If you're jumping forward towards the target, you're basically shooting at a stationary target while you're moving, which is hard to do. And if you can be stationary and the target is stationary, that's going to make your shot that much easier.
Well, and you think about this issue too. We talked about this a few minutes ago. You're closing space. And you're closing space on the defender as well. And so maybe they're going to get a tap on the ball so that it never gets there anyway. So think about going up and landing pretty much in the same footprints if you can do that. And it has to do mostly with legs. Okay.
Coach Erica is saying, hey, I need a shirt. Get one, Erica. We would love to see you in it. Send us a picture.
And then send us a picture of it. Yeah, that'd be cool.
You guys can get those at shotscience.com. Let's see here. This one is from Dan Dabrowski, who says, hey, how you guys doing today?
We're doing good. We're doing really good.
Dan V Star, our buddy from Moscow, says, my problem is I can't make myself shoot a ball with one hand. I'm used to using my assist hand. How can I fix it? And how to shoot a ball from a certain finger? I don't understand it either. Thanks.
Okay, well,
quick answer to this one.
Okay, let's take and first of all talk about shooting the ball with one hand. You can shoot it with one hand. One of the things you have to do is you need to spread your fingers on the basketball so it elevates the ball up off the palm. Show them what that looks like, Casey. Now you can see that there's room there to put one finger in. We call that the one finger test. And what he's done is he spread his thumb out, and it opposes your little finger. And when it opposes your little finger, you can actually grip the basketball with those fingers. And if you don't do that and the ball lies flat on your palm like that, then any movement, the ball is very loose. And so that may be the reason you can't do it. I'll tell you, it's totally possible. We do this every day with our shooting students. The first 2 or 3 shots are kind of difficult, but after they get 2 or 3 out there, then they begin to figure out that they can shoot that with one hand. And in reality, the jump shot is a one-handed shot. You take and watch any of the great shooters, at any level of basketball, whether it's junior high, varsity, high school, or college, or even the pros. Usually the other hand is leaving the basketball as you're shooting. And so you're shooting a one-handed shot.
And here's the other thing, too, is that if you can just stand there like this, which you should be able to do right there in front of the basket, I mean, that's all you need to be able to do, because then it's all just an extension up with the basketball. If you're having problems doing this, then that's kind of the issue that you're having.
Right.
So you need to really work on getting that L-shape set point, get the ball up a little bit, and you should be able to just kind of have it ready to go right here. I don't have my other hand up at all. And once you do that, you should be able to just work on getting that release.
Well, the other thing he mentions here is how to shoot the ball off certain fingers, and you understand that. Well, we teach that everybody, we want them to release the basketball off of these 2 fingers. In reality, some people's fingers, the third finger is a little longer, and sometimes it's involved. So we have those 2 or 3 fingers that are releasing the basketball. And why those? Well, any of you who have played baseball or any kind of a ball game where you throw the ball, you throw it with the first 2 fingers and your thumb, typically. Sometimes you'll have the third finger in there, but that allows us control of the basketball.
Yeah,
if we release the ball off of these outer 3 fingers, we don't have very good control at all because this thumb doesn't oppose those 3 very well. It opposes 1 and 2 pretty good.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. If you look at it, it comes down to points of contact too. So when the ball is being released off, this is hard to do backwards, but if the ball is being released off your shooting hand and you're trying to release it off of 1 finger, this is an exaggeration of that release. But look at that. I mean, the ball just can move all over the place because there's only 1 point of contact.
Right.
If you are releasing the ball and it's coming off of these 2, like this, I mean, these fingers aren't involved. It's coming off of these 2. It's so much more stable because I have 2 fingers on there.
Right.
So we are big proponents of that. And, you hear people say you should shoot with 1 finger release. And it's like if you do that and it shifts even a millimeter, you're going to miss the shot.
Right.
But if you have it come off those fingers, you can feel, if you just do this test right now by yourself, you can feel the difference between when there's 2 points of contact and when there's 1 point of contact. So we are big proponents of that. And, one of the ways that you do figure that out is you have to get a feel for it. And so spend a lot of time working on getting that proper release and videotape yourself, look at it, make sure that you're not doing some sideways release. And you just kind of have to really hammer that home with something like the form shooting drill.
Right.
Okay.
Hope that helps.
This one's from King of Basketball 24, who says, "Thank you guys a lot. I used to chuck the ball. Now I kind of get it to shoot perfect. I just need the strength." Awesome. Keep working on it.
All right, that strength is going to come from your lower body. Go see that video, get your legs into it on our YouTube channel, and that will really help you to understand how we need to connect the legs to the stroke. When we do that, there's more power than you would imagine there.
And we got Sub here from New Mexico.
All right, Sub.
King of Basketball 24 is asking, how can you help me get stronger? It's really just using something like the form shooting drill, progressing back, really working on your mechanics, and you will start to build up that strength.
You really do. And, some people play basketball maybe once a week on the weekend. They're not going to get better very quickly. It's something you need to do on a regular basis, regular meaning every day of the week if you can do that.
All right, this is a kind of long one from Dan Lacote. If I mispronounce it, I apologize. But Dan says, "I'm one of the tallest on my team, and I am put in the post, but I know I can play guard because of my shooting and dribbling. I think I could make a larger impact at guard than at post. How can I prove to coach that I should be moved to a guard? I shoot extremely well in practice, and I can't prove myself in games because I'm in the post." Seattle, Washington.
Well, that is a tough situation to be in. Your coaches have already preordained the fact they want you to play in the post because of your size, irregardless of the fact that you can shoot it. So I think probably, I don't know what level you're playing at, if it's high school, maybe you won't have the same coaches next year, but I would just continue to put effort into the shooting and the ball handling skills, and maybe somewhere along the line, maybe it won't be high school, but maybe it will be in the college if you play at that particular level. Those coaches will say, that guy can really shoot it, and we've got other guys that can play the post. Let's get him out away from the basket.
Well, here's some other things you can do too, is that there's always opportunities where you're not in a set offense, right? So maybe you're running the floor, and if you are sprinting the floor and you're being part of the fast break, that will be a big deal.
Sure.
Get a ton of rebounds and bust out and take the ball yourself. Be looking to get rebounds. Also, if you're playing in the post, you can get the ball, do a step back, and face up to the basket, and you can get a little bit of a mid-range game going right there. Yeah. You can also set screens. You can do things that are kind of more along the perimeter, and you can find yourself, luckily, at the perimeter and maybe get an opportunity there.
Sure.
And the other thing you can do, you can go talk to your coach, and you can say, "Hey, coach, I'm willing to do whatever we need to do for the team. If that means playing in the post, I'm totally good with that. But if there's any opportunity where I can maybe get some time playing on the perimeter, playing the wing, could I maybe do that, even if it's in practice or whatever?" And just go in there knowing that you are secure in your role of where you're playing, but maybe just talk to the coach and see if there's an opportunity there.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
you are not entitled to that. You are playing on a team, and the team is not about you. So,
and the coach are going to make the choices that he think is going to be the best benefit to the entire team, not so much to you, but the entire team.
yeah, and you'll find yourself on teams where you're playing in a place you don't particularly care to be playing.
Yeah, sure.
So, make the best of it and create opportunities. Uncle Bernard is asking, any tips on changing your set point? I shoot from my shoulder. It's pretty hard for me to shoot with a higher set point, even for my hook shots and runners and floaters.
The biggest problem with people who have difficulty with shooting with a higher set point is they don't know how to get their legs into the shot. That's a fact. And usually what you need to do is understand that this is not an arm and shoulders and hand shot. It is a body shot where you're going to use all that power. And the way the body is kind of configured for this is that the shoulders and arms and whatnot are really kind of a guidance system that do have about 20% of the power that we use for shooting. And the rest of the power comes from those large muscles from our waist down, our abdominal core muscles, our butt, our quadriceps. What are the other leg muscles? They're all the biggest muscles in your body. And so as soon as you learn how to use those and bring them to the shot, you'll find you'll be able to shoot from longer distance and with a higher set point pretty easy.
All right, we got Vigash here from Sri Lanka, and he's from a place in Sri Lanka that I can't even begin to pronounce. I guess it's Kunjamani Supu, Sri Lanka. That's
right.
Awesome. That's way far away from us. So
Glad to have you with
awesome
us
that
today.
you're here.
How cool.
Yeah, and we have Gio from Sterling, Virginia, Juan Perez from Texas, Harrison Starr from Pennsylvania, Romar is from Puerto Rico, and we have Ahmad from Canada. Lots of cool places here today, you guys. All right, let's see. Let's go down to near the bottom here. Let's see. Daniel Obarka is asking, how do I take it in the paint or post up against taller defenders without getting blocked? Here's one thing to consider. If you don't have a good look, don't take the shot.
Well, yeah.
But there are so many tools that you can do when you are in the post to get that opportunity. And if you go look at our channel, we have several post move videos that you should check out. The first one is just Post Moves 101, where we teach you how to release from the post, create some space, and get a little bit of distance from your defender so you can actually make a move.
Exactly.
That would be the first thing to do. And then look at some of the moves that we have, like the spin move, the up and under, the jump hook, the drop step. There's several there that you need to kind of have ready to go that will help you get to the basket. Then, once you get to the basket, you have to have a few other tools ready to go.
Well,
primarily something like the jump or the shot fake.
Well, the finishes, we have a video called Finishes at the Rim. This is where you're being contested by bigs. And so if you go look at that, we have a video on that, Finishes at the Rim. And there's about 8 or 9 of them that you can use to get away from those bigger players. And so you get a chance to get the shot off, because all of them are about creating space.
But even just having a shot fake is a huge deal. And
Yes.
that is one of the finishes at the rim, by the way. But having that shot fake where the guy could be 7 feet tall and you give him a shot fake and he's going to go up in the air, and then you go up and get a little body on him and you focus on getting the shot in, making it, you get him for a foul, you get the basket, and you get to go to the line. So shot fake is a really important one. And also, don't panic, don't freak out, don't try to do things too fast. People that are in the post and have their cool and know, I shot fake, wait a second, then go. Those are the people that are able to kind of execute in those situations.
Well, the other side of that are those players who get in there and think they can reach out and just flick something in.
Double clutch, circus shots, not good.
That doesn't work, and you have a double whammy there. It doesn't work, and they don't foul you either. And what you want to do, and this is what Casey's reading at, is that you want to get them into a situation where you can get them, and you can create some contact for a foul and maybe get a finish too.
All right, this is a name that I will not get right, but this is Padejas or Padejas, who says, why does the ball hit my forehead so frequently? It's hard to release it otherwise. That's just
We're talking about bringing the ball back against the forehead.
probably.
Is that if that's what he means?
Yeah.
You know, any of that stuff that, well, okay, let me back up.
Well, that's the first thing that you've done. You've diagnosed the problem.
Exactly.
So what do you do after that?
Now fix it. And so if the ball keeps coming back here on your forehead, don't let it come back to your forehead.
You got to use the form shooting drill.
Yeah. And what happens is that when you do this over and over and over and over and over again, pretty soon you begin to erase the muscle memory that is causing you to bump your forehead with a ball, and you establish a new muscle memory that's going to probably be a lot better for you anyway. Okay?
Okay, this one is from Muhammad Zaidi, who says, how do you make shots consistently off a step back? Whenever I step back, I usually tend to stay off balance or usually shoot a lot weaker.
Okay.
That probably means that you're fading, right?
Well, actually, what is probably happening is that when you step back, you stand up. And when you stand up, there's no leg power that you can rely on. You're down low on the dribble, and when you step back, you want to stay down until you're ready to start the shot, and then you have power for the shot. That's probably the problem that you're dealing with.
It's probably that, or maybe you're fading a little bit.
You could be fading too, yeah.
A step back should really be a step back into a regular shot.
Exactly.
You don't want to step back and be straight-legged. You don't want to step back and be fading either any direction.
Fading backwards, but that's the biggest problem.
Yeah, I mean, that will really crush your consistency. And if you're shooting something off balance, it's instantly a bad shot.
Yes, it is.
Because balance is the most important element of shooting, really.
Those are all hope shots. I hope they go in, and they usually don't. Okay.
Yep. Okay, Erica is asking, this year my team is really guard heavy. My key post player is a volleyball girl that I'm trying to convert to a b-ball player. Her shooting needs major overhaul. Where do I start?
You start with teaching her how to shoot the basketball.
Yeah.
And you know, Erica, the other thing that comes to my mind is we start there with everybody on shooting the basketball first, but then what you need to do is start working with her on shooting around the basket on shots that she's going to have a chance to take. For example, go up and get the rebound, keep it high, up fake, and finish with one hand or the other. The other thing that we spend a lot of time with our young students, both boys and girls, is we put them at the block and we have them shoot hook shots, right and left-handed, just so they've got, because what happens, and they're not jump hooks, they're just sky hooks where they step, there's no dribble involved, and they lay it up nice and soft. And you find they begin to develop a little confidence, and when they develop some confidence in that, then that starts to stick. We take and shoot with those little hook shots at the block on one side, then we go to the middle of the floor, and then we go to the other block, and we go back and forth so that they're learning to use both the right and the left hand. And as soon as they do that, then they begin to get a little crafty. We've got a young guy that's about 6'3" on our basketball team, hadn't played before, and we've been going through that. And this happened just all of a sudden in a basketball game. He caught the ball, and he made this little fake to his right and went back and hooked it to the left. I was blown away. Okay, so they begin to pick up those little nuances when you break it down into these little parts. We could go on for an hour probably on that.
I mean, the thing is, the form shooting drill for pretty much it's where you start and where you should be, something you should be using forever. And, you know, if you go look at, the shooting stuff that we have on our website, I mean, that really is the breakdown of what we would teach a person from their foundation to their finish. So, you know, that's kind of what we would say is that's where we would start.
Well, the other thing too, Erica, is that if this player doesn't really know how to use her feet around the basket, these little drills here help her to use her feet better.
I mean, that's the next step. I mean, but this is even getting her be able to shoot, period.
Yes, right. And everybody's got to be able to do that because she gets fouled, she got to go shoot free throws. And so those are all important elements for this new player of yours. Let us know how she does.
Barry H is asking, which kind of situation should I use a 1-2 step and a hop step from Hawaii? Here's the thing. Your primary number one approach to footwork should be 1-2 step.
Yeah.
You should try to have that happen every single time you shoot a basketball. There will be situations where you hop into your shot.
Yeah.
It is not optimal. And typically it's because, your footwork is compromised or you are in a sticky situation. And that happens. But you should not have that as your primary, and that should not be your go-to because of all the reasons that we talked about earlier. The 1-2 step is really going to help you with balance. It's going to help you with quickness and explosion into your shot. It's going to help you stop your basically what is just horizontal momentum and convert it into vertical momentum, so that you're not fading or anything like that. It's going to help you take care of a lot of the work that needs to be established in terms of rhythm before you pick the ball up or catch the ball. So it is essential that you have your 1-2 step as your go-to, as your mainstay. And if you have a couple of times where you have to use a hop into your step or into your shot, I mean, that happens, but you don't want it to be the case.
You know, after I have worked with somebody for a while and maybe they'll show up with a hop, I tell them, okay, that's not the best situation, but sometimes that's going to happen. Just like Casey says, don't worry about it. Just go ahead and get it. And so that's really important. One of the things that if we're going lateral across the court with a dribble and we want to pull up and shoot and we hop into it, our momentum tends to keep going. It's really hard for us to hop in and hop straight up if we're going sideways.
Yeah, I mean, here's something that comes right off of that is that when you are hopping into your shot, and this is not us harping on this, but it's kind of the explanation of why the 1-2 really is the most efficient and best way to do it. And that is that when you hop into your shot, you're essentially hopping in and you are landing on 2 points of contact at the same time. And if you do that, it's not always easy to have proper balance. And then you're trying to convert that horizontal momentum into vertical momentum off of 2 feet landing at the same time. It's not easy. And if you talk to a lot of the exercise scientists and physiologists like we do, they say that is not the best optimal way to do it. The 1-2, where it comes in 1-2 like that, you're establishing 1 point of contact and bringing the other one in, and it is easier to stop your momentum and then use that other foot as a loading and go up into the air. So 1-2 is going to give you a much more stable, balanced, and explosive conversion of horizontal momentum into vertical momentum. Right. The other thing is that when you are hopping into a shot, you're basically going from high to low to high, and that's an exaggeration of it, but your center of gravity is, say, somewhere up in here. You're going from high to low to high, whereas when you're jumping, or when you're doing the 1-2 into the shot, you're going from low to high. You're not having to go from high to low to high. It is going from low to high. And that's going to save you a ton on efficiency and time. Yep. Okay. Let's take a couple more and then we got to get out of here. Let's see. 21 Houston 12 says, how do I shoot off balance shots like fadeaways or shots around the pick? Off balance shots, don't shoot them.
Don't shoot off balance shots.
Bad shots.
You know, fades or sometimes those little teardrop shots and things like that are often off-balance shots, and they are hope shots. You can get pretty good at them if you spend a ton of time, but I would spend that time working on other elements of your shooting game to make you better there.
Yeah, now, learn how to create space. That will save you such a headache.
Oh, yeah.
Fadeaways look cool, and it's great, but you're shooting a contested shot.
Well, not only that, he's talking about fadeaway three-pointers. I mean, that doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, so you start out at 19.9 and you're finishing while you're going backwards at 23 feet. You're probably going to be short and flat on your shot, and it probably will not go. I wouldn't shoot those.
Here's what happens when you start adding in variables like that. You're adding in a defender. Your shooting percentage will probably drop by 50% as soon as you do that. Yeah. It'll half your shooting percentage from that without the contested shot. So if you're making 40% from 3-point land, add that defender in, that shot has a 20% chance of going in. And that's, a ballpark. And then you add in something like a fade, that's going to do another chop in half. Oh, yeah. And so now you're shooting and you have the chance of making it 1 of 10 times. Yeah.
Not good.
But if you learn to create space and take an open shot that's on balance, all of a sudden you're making that 40% of the time. So eliminate fadeaways and stuff like that. People want to shoot that stuff, but it's not good. It's really not worth your time.
No.
Okay, let's see here. Levi is asking, is it okay I have a 2-motion release for inside the 3-point line, but a 1-motion release for threes? No. Have the same shot from everywhere on the floor.
That way you never have to worry about the efficiency of it, you know?
Consistency is created by kind of having that, the ability to create the same shot over and over and over again. If you have to adjust that, good luck. That's going to be really hard.
Yeah, it's tough.
Okay, we have questions for you guys. Number one is, where in the world are you from? Tell us. We want to know. And if you are from somewhere in the world that is not near California, go tell people in your town to check out Shot Science and become part of the team. Yeah. So tell us where you guys are from. Second question of the day is this. What is one element of your shooting that you need to work on, and how are you going to work on it today?
Right.
Okay, so we want to know one element of your shooting that needs to be worked on, and tell us that in the comments, please. Okay, and before we get out of here, we want to tell you guys, go check out shotscience.com. You can get your Shot Science t-shirts there. Yeah. And we would love to see you guys wear them. Take a picture or a video of yourself in them with a basketball, training or whatever. And we try to feature as many of people that do that as possible on our Facebook page or wherever, where we have, millions of people that watch that stuff. So please get one on our website. Go check out all our training gear that we have on our website, and also check out the all access membership area of the website, where if you are serious about your shooting and getting better with your shooting, or you're serious about getting better with your athleticism, you should probably be checking that out, because we have in-depth tutorials and training and demonstrations there, and we would love to have you guys there. So check out shotscience.com, and we will see you guys next time, 1 p.m. Pacific time on Sunday.
All right. Nice to have you guys here. Hope we help you.
See you later.